That pink and white stick in your California roll contains almost no crab. Not a little less crab than advertised, essentially none. What you're eating is a paste made from ground white fish, usually Alaskan pollock, rinsed, stripped of flavor, then mixed with wheat starch, sugar, MSG, artificial crab flavoring, and painted with red dye to fake the look of crab leg meat. The industry calls it surimi. You've probably been eating it for years without knowing what it is. This is Hungry Empire, where we pull apart the food on your plate and show you what's really inside it. Surimi isn't a new scam. It has a real origin story, one that starts not with fraud, but with resourcefulness. Japanese fish processors in the 1970s had a problem. Trawler nets were pulling up massive quantities of Alaskan pollock, a cheap, abundant whitefish with almost no retail market. Rather than dump the excess, processors developed a technique to rinse ground fish flesh repeatedly in cold water, removing fat, blood, and odor, until what remained was a nearly flavorless protein paste. That paste could be shaped, flavored, and colored into almost anything. They called it surimi, literally ground meat in Japanese. The first commercial crab sticks hit Japanese supermarkets in the early 1970s. Within a decade, the product had crossed the Pacific. By the mid-1980s, American seafood companies were manufacturing surimi at scale, and the California roll, already spreading through American sushi restaurants, became the perfect delivery vehicle. A standard 6-piece California roll at a restaurant contains roughly 30 grams of imitation crab. At the price you're paying for seafood, that's a meaningful gap between what you expect and what you get. The strangest part of this story isn't the product itself, it's how well the packaging hides what it is. Walk through any supermarket seafood aisle and pick up a package of crab sticks, or ocean sticks, or seafood sticks. Look at the design. Red claws, ocean imagery, crab silhouettes, seaside fonts. The visual language is built to suggest crab without technically claiming it. U.S. labeling law does require the words imitation crab or crab-flavored seafood somewhere on the package, but that disclosure is typically set in the smallest permissible text, while the crab imagery dominates the front panel. And the scale here is hard to wrap your head around. Global surimi production is estimated at roughly 500,000 to 600,000 metric tons per year, according to industry figures. Japan, South Korea, and the United States are the dominant producers. A handful of companies, including Trident Seafoods in the U.S. and Maruha Nichiro in Japan, are among the largest players in the market. The raw material, Alaskan pollock, is one of the most harvested fish species on Earth, with annual U.S. catches well over 1 million metric tons in recent years. Here's where the money gets interesting. The fish itself, the actual protein, costs producers roughly $1 or $2 per kilogram at the raw material stage. By the time it reaches your supermarket as finished surimi product, retail price is typically $4 to $7 per package. The margin goes to processing, flavoring, packaging, and the shelf. The crab-like appearance adds perceived value to what is, at its core, commodity fish paste. Put yourself in a supermarket for a second. You're buying what you think is a seafood product. You see the word crab, you pay a seafood price. What arrives on your plate is mostly pollock, wheat starch, and artificial flavoring. The FDA says disclosure is sufficient. Critics say the packaging design functionally undoes whatever the fine print says. Both are right, which is the problem. The process itself is worth understanding because it's genuinely industrial. Pollock is caught in the Bering Sea, processed on factory vessels or at shore plants in Alaska, and the surimi paste is frozen into 10-kilogram blocks for shipping to secondary manufacturers. Those manufacturers thaw the paste, blend in starches, egg whites, sugar, salt, and flavor compounds, then extrude the mixture into ropes through a heated forming machine. A roller system applies a thin layer of red dye, typically paprika extract or carmine, to one surface. The finished sticks are steamed, chilled, cut to length, and vacuum sealed. From Bering Sea pollock to your sushi roll, the journey takes weeks and crosses multiple continents. Here's a number worth sitting with. In the early 2000s, a pound of imitation crab at U.S. retail averaged around $2. Today, it runs $3 to $5 depending on brand and region. Real Dungeness crab runs roughly $15 to $25 per pound. The price gap is real. Surimi is genuinely cheap protein. The question is whether consumers know what they're buying when the packaging is designed to suggest otherwise. And here's an unpopular take. The labeling rules are technically compliant and practically useless. Imitation crab in 6-point font beneath a full-color crab illustration isn't disclosure. It's legal cover. The food industry knows this. Regulators know this. The packaging stays anyway. Every label in your supermarket hides a process, a margin, and a decision made somewhere you'll never see. We're coming for all of them. Drop in the comments. Which food on your shelf do you think is the next big illusion? Your answers decide what we expose next. This is Hungry Empire.